The Drift Sparrow was never meant to be a hero ship. She was a scavenger hauler ugly, patched with mismatched hull plates, smelling faintly of burnt coolant and old coffee. Captain Elara Voss had bought her with the last of her inheritance and 3 forged salvage permits. That was 7 years ago. Now the ship was home, and the crew was family, all 6 of them, running from something different. They were skirting the edge of the Veil Nebula when the anomaly appeared. At first it looked like just another hydrogen cloud glowing electric violet. Then the long-range scanners started screaming. "Multiple contacts," announced Cale, the navigator, voice cracking on the last syllable. "Not ships. Signatures are wrong." Elara leaned over his shoulder. The screen showed faint, repeating pulses arranged in a perfect dodecahedron formation hundreds of kilometers across. Nothing natural moved like that. "Bring us in slow," she ordered. "Shields up, but don't wake the weapons yet. Let's see what we're dealing with before we decide how dead we are." The closer they got, the more impossible it became. 12 ancient vessels, each the size of a small city, hung motionless in formation. Their hulls were obsidian smooth, reflecting the nebula's colors like oil on water. No running lights, no thermal bloom, no electromagnetic noise at all. Just silence, and those slow, repeating pulses. Mira, the engineer, whispered the name everyone was thinking. Lantern Fleet. The myth was 3 centuries old. A civilization that had learned to sail between galaxies using nothing but captured starlight. One day they simply left every ship, every habitat, every child headed toward the galactic rim. No one knew why. No one ever found a trace. Until now. The Sparrow drifted closer. One of the Lantern ships began to rotate slowly, aligning an enormous circular aperture toward them. A soft golden light spilled out. "They're inviting us?" Cale asked. "Or baiting a trap," muttered Reyes, the weapons officer, hand already resting on the firing controls. Elara made the call that would either save them or end them. "Match velocity. Dock. If this is the Lantern Fleet, I want to know why they waited 300 years to say hello." The airlock mated with a sound like distant bells. Inside the Lantern ship there was no artificial gravity, only gentle light and floating, geometric patterns that shifted like living equations. At the center of the vast chamber hung a single crystal the size of a house, slowly turning. Inside it, preserved in perfect clarity, was a scene. Thousands of Lantern people frozen mid-laughter, mid-embrace, mid-song. A voice calm, ancient, genderless, sank directly into their minds. We waited for witnesses. Elara stepped forward, boots magnetized to the deck. Witnesses to what? To the choice. We found the edge of what can be known. Beyond it lay only silence or everything. We chose everything. But everything has a cost. Time stopped here so the rest of the universe could keep moving. Now the silence is catching up. The crystal flickered. For a heartbeat, the entire chamber showed the view outside. The nebula, the stars, and behind them a perfect spherical void almost a light year across, eating light itself. We can restart, or we can finish what we began. The restart requires a living key, someone who still believes the universe is worth the trouble. Silence stretched. Elara looked back at her crew. Cale's eyes were wide with wonder. Mira was crying quietly. Reyes looked ready to fight the void itself. She turned back to the crystal. "We're scavengers," she said. "We take broken things and make them fly again. If you're broken, we'll try to fix you." The voice felt almost amused. "Then come inside. Bring your ugly little ship. We have much to teach and very little time." The drift sparrow vanished into the golden aperture. Behind them the nebula flared once, brilliantly, then dimmed as though exhaling. Months later, freighters reported a new phenomenon near the Veil, a single lantern ship smaller, patched with mismatched hull plates moving purposefully toward the galactic core, trailing a faint blue wake like old coffee and starlight. And on its flank, in fresh painted letters, "Drift Sparrow, Lantern Fleet Auxiliary." They hadn't fixed everything, but they'd gotten it flying again. And sometimes in the deep black between stars, if you listen carefully, you can still hear the bells.